Real Sports Fan Podcast special episode. It is Wednesday, September the 16th, 6:15 p.m. And no, this is not a scheduled program, but after everything that's happened in the NBA last night, I talked to the fellas today, and we made it happen to get together and talk about the Clippers meltdown, the Clippers collapse, whatever you want to call it, as well as some other NBA action that's been taking place. So I've got none other than with me than everyone actually on here has been actually on this season. Funny, on season 3 we got Sam Taylor. What's going on, Sam? We got Mr. Not a Phase to Ray Warner. What's good, Brody?
What's happening, bro?
Yes, sir, man. Glad to have you, man. Glad to have you. We finally made it happen. We said we had to get you back on here.
Right, it's time to talk some hoops, man.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We got DJ Brooks. What's good, bro?
What's up, bro?
Yes, sir. He multitasking, so I appreciate him jumping on.
That's right.
And before I introduce the last one, we might have a couple other guests popping on, Gary, and I don't think Skinner gonna make it, but Bryce might try to make it too. But then the last man we got on there, man, my guy down there, man, Mr. Felix Weeks, Mr. Clipper Mania, man. What's good, bro? You all right?
I'm good, man. I'm
Good.
Fine.
All right, man. Hey, good to see you, man. Hey, I'm glad you showed up. I didn't know if I was gonna have to, call the APB out on you or what. You know what I mean?
I ain't doing no ducking.
You ain't doing that? Okay. Cool. That's what I like to hear. I was telling the fellas, man, about 4:00, I did a couple of things. I went back and watched the game last night, the Clipper game in full, and I went back and listened to the old podcast that we were on, and man, I was downstairs bawling, laughing. I mean, because some of your responses, man, you just a funny guy, man. So again, I'm glad to have you back on here. So what I'm gonna do this episode, man, I told myself I'm gonna sit back. What I'm gonna first do, we gotta talk about what happened to the Clippers last night. Unless you lived under a shell, they did get eliminated after blowing a 3-1 lead to the Denver Nuggets last night. So we all know that Felix is a big Kawhi fan. If you don't know, he's a big Kawhi fan. He picked the Clippers, and I'm sure we all picked the Clippers to get to the conference finals. I don't think no one here didn't. But we all had some differences as far as if they will win it or what the case may be. So I'm gonna let Felix start, and then we're gonna go to DJ, to Sam, to Ray in that order. But I just want to know what happened, in your opinion, Felix, to your Los Angeles Clippers. What happened to your Clippers, not just last night, but in the series?
They ain't take care of business. Right out. They had 3 opportunities to put them away, and they didn't do it. There's no other way to put it. They didn't take care of their business.
What do you think? What do you think was the issue, though? Because I know going into it, like you said, again, I had to even refresh my memory of some things we talked about, with having Paul George down, having another lockdown wing, having Pat Bev, having Montrez, all these guys we were naming how deep they were. What do you think was the reason, though, that they gave up 2 leads, one to 16, one to 19, and then last night being up 7 at the half, and then in the second half, man, Denver just came out
last night.
Yeah. You're right. Actually, you're right. Yeah, it was that. So I mean, were they looking past Denver, or was it a team thing? I mean, what do you think was
it's
it?
It's a combination of things that you can look at. It's not just one thing you can look at. You can look at coaching. You can look at the amount of times that the team played together. You can look at how Kawhi had a big load on his back when Paul George had his laps, wore him down, whatever. There's a lot of different angles you can look at to say why the Nuggets collapsed or why the Clippers collapsed last night. Or not just last night, in this series.
In the series, yeah. And Bryce is joining us right now too. We'll get it down. And so Felix, before I go to DJ, because we definitely coming back to you. We ain't let you off like that. I'm like, you sound like Max Kellerman a little bit this morning. Like he said one thing, and it was almost like that's it. I need more than that. The way you was pumping them up, I need a little more. So let me.
I don't expect to be let off the
hook. Okay. I need a little more. I need a little more. So do you agree with me now when I said that I know on paper how good they are, but that chemistry means something? Because before you answer, this is all I seen this afternoon. All of a sudden, Paul George talking about chemistry, talking about the winning championship or bust this year. That's a lie. He's still making excuses. Kawhi, not only did he say chemistry, but he said basketball IQ. You know what that tells me? That tells me there's a lot of guys on that team that didn't have the same IQ and didn't see the game as he saw it. And that's another thing I was saying. So what do you think it was?
I don't mean to interrupt. I don't mean to interrupt. Who has a lighter? I need to spark up this Clipper pack. Who's got the lighter? Where's Felix? I need a lighter so I spark it up.
You talk about your kids hollering, screaming like they crazy. You come on acting like a man.
They ain't here right now, yo. They ain't here right now.
Who
got a lighter? Who got a lighter?
It was a nice, calm, organized show till you get on here talking crazy. I don't want to talk crazy over here.
I was trying to be calm.
Look at this guy hold up his lighter.
There's a lighter around here somewhere around here, yo.
When you say that, Clipper? Oh, man.
I got you this game, man.
Hey, all right. Champions bounce back, man. All champions done lost. They bounce back. Don't worry.
But listen, but Felix, back to the question though, Felix, do you agree with me that there were more problems with that team than you initially thought with that team?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might gotta bring Kawhi down a notch or two. I thought he could overcome the aspect that they hadn't played many games together. I had a lot of faith. I still do got a lot of faith in him. It's still my main man. It's just
right.
When you get a team on paper, it takes more than just being on paper. It takes time.
Exactly. I agree. And that's all I was ever saying.
I thought he could overcome the time it took to get a real championship team together, but I was wrong.
Let me ask you, before I get to DJ.
Even though he did it last year, but it's hard to keep being.
And that's a good point. I think what it was last year he came with a team that was already, they were Rattlers had been doing it for years, so he could just slide right in instead of everybody, all those personalities, come together. Let me ask you before I go to DJ, Doc Rivers. On the last podcast, you said Doc Rivers is one of the greatest coaches of all time. I'm quoting you, all time. I went back and listened to it. Do you still agree with that statement? Do you still agree with that statement?
No, I shouldn't have said that.
No, you did. Okay.
I shouldn't have said that. No.
I ran it back, right?
He should have cussed him out or something. He's too buddy. He's too buddy with them or something. I don't know what his deal is.
Okay.
They just can't get over the hump with him, bro. I don't know why. They always got nice ass teams. They just cannot get past the semifinals, man.
I think his players make him look better than what he is. His players over the years when they were good competitive in Boston, he had a stack. He had 4 Hall of Famers there,
I agree. This year he's won 3-1 leads. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I want to
better than what he is. And him being a player, used to be a player himself. What players like, and how to cater to the players. So I think that's his downfall.
That's true. So look, what I want to do first. I know DJ got to run. I had to invite him on here. Maybe he don't got to run. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I know he's outside and he's busy. I want to ask him about Mr. Paul George, the man they call PG-13, the man they call Playoff P. Now,
Pandemic DJ, Paul George.
What you call him, right?
P. Light up that Pandemic P pack, man.
DJ, what do you have to say about
Yo.
What's up, Kill? What's up, baby? What's up? Good to see you, bro. What do you have to say about this performance, just over the series? And what I mean is, I've always said, you know, me and you, DJ, we've had this talk. I've always said Paul George is a better 2 than a 1. But even on this team, he couldn't even be the 2. I mean, let's just be honest. He had some bad games. I mean, last night, man, I even felt bad. Man, hitting off the side of the backboard, and I mean, it was just bad, missing layups and everything. What, you know, just what do you feel? I know he's one of your favorite players. I mean, what do you feel about Paul George's performance and role with the Clippers?
Man, me and my pops were literally just talking about Paul George. And like I said, when he was with Indiana, I really viewed him as a 1. Got with Russ, I was like, maybe it's tough for him to play the second fiddle. I thought that might have been tough for him. So I'm confused because I'm like, I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe he's actually a guy that, I'm not gonna say role player, but I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I can admit when I'm wrong. You know what I mean? He's not that. He has flashes and he shows greatness, but I mean he has too many. He's so wishy-washy, man. It's hard. It's hard to get a read on Paul George.
Yeah, but no, I respect that.
Because from a talent level, I mean, he just I don't know. He just can't put it together on a nightly basis.
Yeah, I respect that, man, coming from you, man, because I know that's your man's, and you know, and Paul George is a good dude, man. Like he's got a nice game, but he just, you know, he puts his foot in his mouth sometimes. You know, I mean, even, you know, again, last night he was talking about they never came into the season talking about a championship or bust. Come on, man, that's baloney. I mean, it was always championship or bust. So even the words he says sometimes is aggravate me. But then, like you said, taking his game to the next level. You're right. In Indiana, he had some great games and series against Miami, but I don't know. But it's another place now, and the first year hasn't worked.
And I was like, man, if it wasn't for LeBron, this boy would get a ring. I thought he was that tough. Like that's how.
Yep. And had a chance to join LeBron, just like Kawhi had a chance to join LeBron. Didn't want to join him.
And that's what my dad said. He's like, if Paul George had went to LA as a third out, a lot less pressure. That's probably a much better fit. He's just
man.
Not
he would. Can you imagine him in that role?
There's no pressure.
Man.
The game becomes very easy. Third guys opposed to number 2.
Yep, I agree. Well, I appreciate it, man. You can stay on if you want, man. I know you're busy. I'm gonna go to Sam, another Clipper supporter, before I get to Ray and Bryce. Sam, man, what's going on, man? You picked the Clippers to win, and me and you also had a wager a couple of years ago. We met that you said that, and I know this isn't over yet, but me and Sam have a wager that he said LeBron will never get another championship. He'll stop at 3, and I always said that he'll get definitely 1 more, but I actually think he'll get 2 more, but the bet is on 1 more. So you picked the Clippers, man. What did you see in this series in last night?
Man, I think, you know, we got to go back to that word of chemistry, though. But I think we see why Paul George was not the first option in Kawhi for making that move to LA. You know, I think he went through a couple other superstars first, and I had Paul George rated high, but he let me down. He let everybody down. And I think, you know, it's better if his game, better if his game spoke volumes, but he keep on talking, and that's making the whole situation worse. So, Paul George is a third option to me. I'd rather have Chris Middleton right now and starting the day.
Damn.
Not Chris, yo. Hey, y'all know I like Chris Middleton too. Oh, that's funny. Where's Skinner at when you need him with Chris Middleton? So okay, I feel you. So Ray, man, you a Lakers supporter. You know what I'm saying? You've been telling these cats also, man, about how it's gonna go down. And again, I know it's still business on your side as far as the Lakers, man. But what you feel about that Clipper collapse? I know you slept good last night too.
And did I? Slept real good. I didn't even want to go to sleep, man.
Watch all the press conferences.
But nah, man, I was going into last night. I knew they wasn't gonna win. Like I didn't feel any lead they had would be enough. I didn't feel like if they came out and jumped out on them off the jump, then I felt like that was the only way that they would beat them is if they jumped out on them and it was no game from the beginning. I felt like that was the only way that they beat them because down 3-1 and we make it to game 7.
Don't got
it. I don't care who we play against at that point. It don't matter. So I knew they had all that confidence going into that one. And I had a good feeling, like you said, 2 double-digit leads, game 5 and 6, blew both of them. Good stuff, bro.
What's going on, boy? What's going on? Darren Williams, Dame Miller. I see you out there. Shout out long. But yeah, go ahead, Trey.
Sacrifice that 3-1. Once that was gone, I knew they was in trouble. But what it comes from, I think Denver is actually a real good team though. Like I think they're a real good team. They got a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
The Clippers, they have two things that you need in the playoffs that they didn't have: playmaking, besides Kawhi, and leadership. Leadership and leadership in the court. Because no matter how good Kawhi is, he's not your vocal leader. You'll never get that from him. That's not it.
Yeah.
You got Paul George, that's your second fiddle, but his play is so up and down, he can't really be a leader. He can't really say nothing. So you don't really have a leader. Your point guard is Pat Bev. He's a defensive guy. He's not gonna get guys in places. You know what I mean? Like, that's not his job. So I started to see that as the playoffs went along, and I was like, man, I don't know. They were built more to us than to get to that point where they could play us, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. You made a great point about the whole Paul George, people not listening to him, because I heard that after game 2, him and Harold got into it. I was reading about that, so and like you said, like, you didn't really have a leader on that team, because you take even Kawhi Leonard, San Antonio, he didn't have to lead. Last year with Toronto, he didn't have to lead. He just let us play on the court show, because Kyle Lowry was the leader of that team. But going to a new environment, a new culture, man, it's completely different. It's completely different, man. Bryce, what happened last night, bro?
What
happened?
I had a call, yo.
Oh, you good?
My boy
You
CJ
good? You good?
said he wanted to get on. I told him you had to send him an email, a link to his email, yo. He thought it was on Facebook.
Oh, who is?
CJ.
Oh, okay. What's the email?
Oh, I don't know his email. He might got a.
Oh, okay. We'll have to give him next season.
Yeah, you might have to get him on there next time, yo.
Yeah, we'll get him next season. But what happened last night to him, yo?
They fucking choked. Paul George, like, are we surprised about Paul George's teams and him falling short, man? He's been falling short his whole fucking career. I mean, his whole freaking career, man. He's been falling short his whole career, man. But I really thought that the Clippers was gonna pull it out. I was like, yo, there's no way that team is gonna lose a 3-1 series like this, man. Like, it's no way. You got Kawhi Leonard and you got Paul George, two of the top 10 people in the league, bro.
Yeah.
And you set up, you're hitting the side of the backboard, and you getting paid millions of dollars. You hitting the side of the backboard. That's what we doing, Pete. And I love Paul George. I love Paul George's game. He's one of the most shiftiest players I've ever seen in my life.
Same here,
man. I
man.
love Paul George's game, but he just.
Hell no.
I don't know what this man is lacking, but he just cannot get over that hump, man. I don't know what it is, man.
Blame the injury.
Man, I don't know what it is either. Felix is trying to get back on. But I mean, I don't know what it is either. And to Ray's point, I give Ray a lot of credit, because he said that he, seen it before Game 7. And I still, for some crazy reason, thought, okay, they'll win Game 7. And then halfway won them to win Game 7, because I said somehow they'll still try to say LeBron had an easy road if Denver knock off the Clippers. I know how people talk. I know how people think. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
that's people gonna think anyway.
Yeah, man. But Denver, I think, like Teray said, though, Denver, you do have to give them a lot of credit. I mean, with the Joker, triple-double last night, 22 rebounds, 13 assists at the 5 spot. I mean, he hitting fadeaways off one leg.
Didn't Jamal put up 40 last night too?
Yeah,
40. And I'm glad you said that. Right there, because this is my thing. Okay, so
He's
Kawhi,
been killing everybody who's on him.
Oh, I got to get Felix back on here, because he got to hear this part. Because I got to go in about this defense. Go ahead, Ray,
He tried to dunk off somewhere.
Yeah, he just called. He's talking about admit him in, but he didn't get back in here. Let me test him. But go ahead and talk about a little bit about Denver, Bryce, and just what do you think started working for them besides Murray and Jokic?
I just honestly think they just turned it on them. I think after what game was that when Michael Porter went off? What game was it?
Was it after that he wanted more shots?
Yeah.
After game 4. After game 4.
I think I just think they just turned it on after that, yo. I think they smelled blood, and they just went crazy, bro. Like they just won 3 straight.
I think when he said that, it got the players thinking, because he was like, he shouldn't have said it at the podium, but he didn't say nothing wrong. So it probably got him thinking like, nah, he really right though. And then there you go. He hit the shot. Look at that late 3 he hit in game 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And while we wait for Felix getting here, the thing I want to say about Jamal Murray scoring 40, because there was a guy on the radio yesterday that said he was going to get 50. And I said, man, you crazy. He ain't getting 50. But I apologized to Jamal Murray last night, man, because he could have got 50. He had 40. That's only 10 from 50. So he was about there. But my thing is this. If your offense is not going, Kawhi's offense not going to 4, what he had? Did he score 2 points? Paul George, bad in the second half. They, I think they both about 6 for 22. Where's the defense at, though? All I hear was these guys are the best two-way. Here he comes. Here he comes. Let me say, here he comes. Oh, yeah, here he comes. Save it, Bryce. Here he comes. Here he comes.
How are you going to score?
That's what they say, Trey, didn't it? Isn't that what they said?
How are score on the Clippers?
Yeah, we said it.
Yeah, how they going to score? Felix, you good?
Yeah, I'm good,
Real
man.
Sports Fan Podcast. It's a bonus edition. It's impromptu. We live. You good? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm good.
We got a question for you. We had to wait for you for this. Now I understand from an offensive perspective that they didn't have it going last night. Offense, okay, it happens. You know what I mean? Even though, fourth quarter you got to bring it. But all I heard from you and other people was that these guys, I'm talking about Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and we'll talk about Pat Bev soon, that they were the best two-way wings in the league, and that they were second all time to only Mike and Scotty. I was like, oh my God, not Mike and Scotty. So my thing is, how did they let Jamal Murray get 40 points last night?
Right here.
Go on, Cuz.
All right.
Man,
can you speak about that? Can you speak? Okay. I mean, defensively, I didn't see the defense from either one of them locked down. I mean, you can go back to the Dallas series when Luka was on what he wanted, and the only reason that series was probably close because KP got hurt. So, I mean, what defensively do you think? Do you see something different defensively? You think Kawhi just couldn't play as hard defensively because he had to do so much offensively, even though y'all had weapons?
Good questions, man.
Well, I ain't never seen them with these few. Hey, I know it's been a long time. I ain't never seen that man to say nothing.
What they say on 8 Ball, he's choking.
He said nothing.
That game.
Sam, back him up, Sam. What happened defensively to him?
I think they were trying so hard to find that offense, man, and it just all fell apart for him. I mean, what they shot 2 for 11, 1 for 11 in the second half.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't like he was taking bad shots. His shot, he was in his spot.
You got to draw the basketball.
So who was guarding Murray like down the stretch? Who was on him down the stretch?
Man, I seen a couple of different switches. I seen Pat Bev on him once.
Everybody
seen
was
PG
getting
on him.
at work.
Everybody was getting it. Everybody. This man had 20 in the second quarter, didn't he?
I don't want to hear nothing about Pat Bev no more from anybody. All he did was just talk loud.
Pat Bev was a front runner. Yeah, he just talked. He was a front runner. When the Yuppie talking, because I watched the game, rewatched the game today, and in the third quarter, 4 minutes, they took him out and brought Reggie Jackson in. See, I think what the Clippers also did, and to Ray and Bryce, let me know if I'm wrong. I think that they were so worried about getting pieces for LeBron. So worried about getting pieces for the Lakers. Think about Pete. They wanted to get Marcus Moore, so he didn't go to the Lakers. They brought in Joakim Noah. They brought in Reggie Jackson. You know what I mean? Other guys. So I think a lot of that they did try to look past them. But when it's 3-1 and they come back from 19 down and 16 down, like Teray say, I'm going to Game 7. Jokic even said it. Ain't no pressure on us. So that's what I was saying, Felix, about Kawhi. I know he's won on the big stage. I'm not taking nothing away from him. Please, I'm not. But this is the first time he's went into the season and they were the favorite. Would you agree with that? They were the favorite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just think the pressure got. I'm not even saying it got all the way to him. I'm just saying as a team. Even Lou Will kind of talked about that. Yeah, it kind of got into it, So,
but my thing
anybody else want to say anything? Go ahead, bro.
Hold on. My thing is this: we talk about pressure and whatnot. There really shouldn't be like that much. Like everybody's in one place, right? I could say if it was pressure, if you had to go somewhere, you had to. But everybody's in one place. Like you just going to the Y. It's just everybody's in one place. Like what pressure do you have to advance? Like I just don't understand. I just don't understand it. Like, and then CJ McCollum asked, did the bubble really play a factor in this Clippers loss? And it's like everybody plays the same way. Everybody plays in the same place, but it's like
the bubble played a factor in everybody.
Certain outcomes. That's
but everybody was in the bubble, and they was up 3-1. So I mean,
that pressure started a while ago. It started when you gave up 5 all them first rounders for Paul George.
Could have had Kawhi with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah. Kawhi would have been fine with him. Kawhi wanted that though. Kawhi tried to be the GM for that. He wanted Paul George.
Pressure started. Started when he left a championship team. That's when the pressure started.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. When he left there, that is when.
You ain't even give yourself a chance to defend the title. You just left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
And
that's true.
Right back too. They would probably be right back.
No question.
And this is the thing. I'm glad y'all said that. I hear people talking about what do the Clippers need to do. They don't need to do nothing. They just need to bring the team back and play more together. Like that sitting out, that load management. They need continuity. That's what I'm saying. Like they got talent. They need continuity, man. So
the full squad was 18-4.
Yeah, you need to play more together. That load management and all that stuff, man. Because after next year. They got the option to be free agents.
Players' fault though, but they got to get rid of that. They got to stop that. If the man healthy, you got to play.
You got to play.
That's
man.
one thing I say about LeBron. That he gets out there and play every night. He gets out there.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. He does.
You got to build that chemistry, like y'all said. You got to build that.
Yeah. You got to, man. So they just got to stay together and get more reps together, and they'll be fine. I mean, I understand they could probably use a Gary Enter. They probably could use a point guard that, excuse me, I think Teray said a point guard that could help facilitate, because Pat Bev, he's not that point guard. He's he's decent. Go ahead, Bryce.
We talk about chemistry, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're up 3-1. You need to just win one.
I know.
You need to win one game. You up 3-1.
Yeah.
You can't win one game.
And had double-digit lead in each game.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right though.
You can't win one game. I understand chemistry is everything.
You're right though. Talent should win you one more game.
Winning trying to win a championship, you need chemistry, but you can't win one game and you up 3-1.
Yeah, because I thought the chemistry was going to matter in the conference finals, not against Denver. So I think Game 5 they looked past them and started looking at the Lakers. And remember, the Clippers as an organization had never been to the conference finals. What Bryce, you talked about it. 2015, it collapsed. 03 when Doc was in Orlando, collapsed. So it's tough. G, what's good, man?
Like, what does that say about Doc though? Like,
thank you.
What do you do with Doc?
It's time to bring him down. Listen, I love my black brothers, but hey, it's time to bring him down. Only championship he won was for KG.
Mark Jackson.
No, you just talked about continuity. So let's y'all gonna keep Ty Lue, or Sam Cassell. Y'all better keep Doc, man. At least one more year. At least one more year.
I'll give him 1 more year. I'll give him 1 more year.
Yeah, you got to get one more.
I'll give him 1 more. Then it's like, all right, if they don't reach anything, if they don't get out the semis, then you got to get.
You got to get to the conference
finals. I ain't giving them 1 more. I'm giving them 10 games. You better
Daryl Morey him.
You got to think about it. It was the bubble, COVID, shortened season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to give them the benefit of the doubt.
You're right. We'll give them 1 more.
We'll give them. I ain't giving benefit of the doubt, but we didn't want to give them 1 more year, because everybody that bubble. The only thing I think the bubble made it easier was that going in a Game 7 when you don't have to go to LA. Like Denver, they didn't have to go to LA, so you're in the bubble. You can just hoop. You can just hoop.
Are they all going to be there? Are they all going to be there next year? It's
only one that's a free agent is Montrez.
It's Trez.
Montrez is the only one that probably won't be there. They got to re-sign Trez.
That's 19
So
points.
you don't resign Trez, you in trouble. You in trouble.
But
So
I
you gotta
mean,
resign Trez.
this is the thing with Trez though.
He's
Like
making a
he
he's
wasn't
gonna make
even
an attempt for Freak, man.
he couldn't even be on the floor
No.
last night down the stretch though.
He could.
that?
He good point.
He's
Trez.
small.
He couldn't guard Jokic, and then
Guard
Jokic was
that.
stopping him. He was going to the bucket hard. Jokic was standing there, outlet go. Yep.
He
Too
plays
small,
he
man.
plays bigger than what he is. He only 6'6", 6'7".
But last night, look what was happening though. Like he about to
he couldn't even be on the court.
That's a mismatch on a real center. On a real center, it's a mismatch.
Yeah, like
His
championship.
plus minus all series. Yeah, his plus minus all series is bad. Harold, let me get Gary in here real quick. G, what happened to the Clippers, man? That's what we talking about. What happened to the Clippers?
And I think they didn't get, ain't no chemistry like they said for real.
Everybody saying chemistry now. Y'all come on my side now, ain't y'all?
I mean, hey, it is what it is, but that's what
But
it came down.
right, though.
But Gary, listen. You mean to tell me chemistry has a part in them just winning one more game?
I think just game 7 they had to do with chemistry. Game 5
all
I think
they had to do was just win one
choked.
game, Gary.
When you get to that point, when you get to that point, when you thinking that though, when you thinking that it's only one more game that we got to win, and the other team is they ready, they coming. It ain't that easy.
Yep. And those are that never been there. Home get sweaty.
You supposed to put that game away.
Yeah. Pressure bust pipes.
Yeah. Yeah, you supposed to if they consider him the best, and he's right up there. So, but palms get sweady in game 7 after all that.
Isn't Doc's teams? They had been up 3-1 before, right? They had not.
Yeah, they're not. It's the third time. Yeah.
God, they just
Doc teams aren't mentally tough, but Boston was the only mentally tough one. That's because they got KG. KG was the mentally tough one, on that team.
Yeah.
So, but Gary, let me ask you about Denver though. Do you think that it was more Denver taking it from the Clippers, or you think it was more the Clippers choking?
I mean, definitely, I'm gonna say more the Clippers choking, but I ain't taking nothing away from Denver though. I mean, they got that pick and roll. You can't do nothing with it right now. And Joker, man, he's patient, so he rocking them slow. He rocking them slow to sleep. Like he doing what he wants.
Yeah, he is. Hey, DJ, you still here?
I'm here, bro.
Don't sleep on Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, we just mentioned him. Yeah, after he had that comment, he started balling. Hey, DJ, from a defense perspective, we're gonna leave the Clippers. We're gonna leave the Clippers for a second. From a defense perspective, do you think that Paul George, Jamal Murray really got off? Do you think that he could have done a better job, obviously, on Murray, or do you think his defense started suffering when he went to the Clippers?
No, I think Paul George still showed he's still a lead defender, but I think he's just like one of those players. If that shot ain't falling, I think the rest of his game suffers. Like when he on his game, he on his game. Both sides of the ball, but when one side, the other suffers.
Yeah, even though he was saying.
I'm sorry.
Murray was cooking, mate.
It's just tough though.
And it's crazy because he hadn't even made an All-Star team yet. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he tough, man. He ain't even an All-Star team yet. That boy tough.
Him back by himself. I seen him run off about 8 to 10 straight, in game 6. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. He did.
Felix,
now,
you see that?
Yeah, I've been told him about Jamal Murray last year. Best
he did.
25.
He did 20,
They looked at me
25
like I was crazy.
25. He said, "Look, everybody look at you like you was crazy, man." But listen, I want to talk about this. We're gonna get the Clippers for a second. Let's go over to the Lakers now. So now the Lakers are gonna face Denver. Felix Weeks, you're back up. Don't go nowhere. Now you had LA losing to Portland. And I think 6 games. Yeah, you gave him 6 games. I read that. You had to lose to Portland. Then I talked to you. Say, hold on. The Collins ain't the biggest. No, hold on. We'll get on Collins. Come on. Collins ain't the X factor like that. He made that big of a difference. He made that big of a difference. Come on. I can see if it was McCollum that didn't play or something. All right. I give you that. But then, all right, let me ask you this. But then you say Houston was going to beat them in 7. So what happened that series?
How you this wrong? How you this loud and wrong, Felix?
Hey, we gonna give it for Felix for showing up though. He on here. He on here though.
Hey, I can't be right every year. I called her perfect last year now. I can't be right every year.
Yeah, because look, he had Houston, and then going over to the East, he had my Heat losing to Indiana. Then he had losing to Milwaukee. Yeah, you had that too. And don't worry, Sam had losing to Milwaukee too. Don't worry. Sam, you want to talk about that? Since we on that, Sam, what happened in that series at Milwaukee? What happened with Giannis, man? What happened to the MVP and Defense Player of the Year? Let's talk about Giannis for a second. Let's talk about Giannis.
I mean, it ain't much. We talked about it on the last podcast. We talked about how the Heat can they switch on that pick and roll with Bam.
Yeah.
So I mean,
okay, but let me
discuss that.
Let me quote you. Let me quote you now, because I ran your take back too. Let me quote
got
you.
all the receipts.
You said, yeah, I got the receipt. I listened to it. You said that we're winning 7 because Giannis is just going to be too much. And I said to you, yeah, but remember, we got Iguodala, we got Bam, we got Derrick Jones, we got Jimmy Butler, all these guys we can throw in. Crowder's been huge for it.
He was
and you said that still.
I'm gonna tell you one thing.
Let
me stop. Hold on. Let me stop you right there for 1 minute.
Go ahead.
You done named everybody but the most valuable player on that team. Goran Dragic, the best player on that team.
Thank you. I agree.
Saving the whole team.
I agree. He's the reason that we stayed in the game last night.
Please.
Yeah, he's the reason. I was talking defense, but you're right. He's the reason that we stayed in that game last night for so long. Was able to pull that out. So Sam, you said that Giannis was going to be able to dish to Middleton and dish to Pat Connaughton and all these guys. So what did you see out of that series? Did you think you either looked at the Bucks, thought they were maybe better than what they were, or did you not give the Heat enough credit for their team? Which one was it?
I think the Bucks was better than what it was. But didn't Giannis get hurt?
Yeah.
Didn't Giannis get hurt?
He got hurt in game 4. It was already 3-0. Don't start that.
He was
already 3-0.
Okay, I understand, but he did get hurt. But did he get hurt?
It was already 3-0.
Okay. So clearly Giannis wasn't enough. Giannis wasn't enough. Plain and simple.
But he got hurt. It was 3-0. He got hurt.
You jumping up out your seat like my man didn't sit a game out.
It was 3-0 when he got hurt.
Giannis wasn't enough. He needs some help out there.
Okay. So it's not Giannis' fault. It's the team. Me and Skinner always go back and forth with that.
It's a team game. Yeah, it's a team. It's a team game.
It's a team. Teray, what you think? Is Giannis the problem, or does he need a better team in Milwaukee?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I feel like, what is he? 25?
He only 25.
Yeah.
25
for the MVP, 2 MVPs, the defense of the year.
Because I was about to say his skill set could be a little farther along, but he's really not. He's still young, but
one thing he don't got is a tough shot.
That team is built for him to carry them and make everybody better. If you can put that wall up, he can no longer make everybody better because he's not effective. So he has to be able to do something besides that wall. Now, if you want to say that you can bring in a playmaking guard so that he can go off the ball and he can be more effective that way, then you could go that route. But you could also say that his skill set isn't where it should be to lead a team to a championship. It's not.
But how much more does it have to increase besides the jump shot? I heard Bryce say jump shot.
That's all he needs is a jump shot, yo.
No, he has to make people better.
Okay, a jump shot, I don't think a jump shot is going to win that series.
He has to make people better. That's what he has to do. He got to make players better, like LeBron does. I hate to say it, but like LeBron does. You got to make people better. Kawhi didn't make players better. You see what happened with that series. You got to make people better around you.
He has made the whole team better and left his mark and everything. Don't do that.
He made them better.
Yeah, you seen the difference? Don't do that.
The only difference I saw
don't discredit the man like that.
The only difference I've seen between this Raptors team this year and last year's team is they didn't have a closer this year. That's the only difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's
the only difference.
Yep.
And when Kawhi he don't got that good unit around him, he looked real weird without that good unit around him.
What he look like?
He looked real spooked out there without that good unit around him.
He looked weird last.
No, he looked weird the whole series, bro. Like, the series should have been over, no matter how you look at it.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't look weird the whole series. He looked weird last night. He still averaged 29 points for the series, though.
It wasn't
it
enough.
Hold on.
One
It wasn't
night
enough.
not define their career.
It wasn't enough.
Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second.
3-1. It wasn't
Felix,
enough.
though. Felix.
Two defensive player of the year. You're not going to discredit that man on
Teray has
night,
a point. Teray has a point. If you look at his second half numbers, he went from 50% down to 31% in the second half in this series, bro. I know he still got his numbers, but he didn't shoot. They made him work for it. He didn't shoot his normal percentage in the second half of those games.
Two of the games when he went out, they was up 12, more than 12 points, and he sat there for 5 minutes and they lost the lead.
So
I feel you. They got Paul George, number 2 guy. Yeah,
Can he
Paul
do something
George.
like on the bench too? That's coaching.
Paul George, where he at?
That's coaching, man.
Where he
Damn
at?
Paul George. I hope they get rid of him.
No, you love Paul George.
So what do you need? What does Kawhi need?
Playoff P.
I had to say that.
What does Kawhi need?
Reason why we fucked up this year.
What does
he
Kawhi
need then?
Phil?
Teray's asking, what does he need? What does he need?
He just need more time.
So, all right, so he need to keep Paul
Get
George.
rid of
He
Paul
need more
George
time.
and let him play with that team
He
more.
only 29. He only 29. Going to be back. He tried. It was a quick
Yeah.
turnaround this year. You know.
said he was the best
be
player
back,
in the
don't worry.
world.
Don't buy away. He's still the best.
This guy backpedaling. No, he
No,
ain't.
he ain't the best. He ain't the best. Nah, he ain't the best. He ain't the best. He ain't the best.
Ain't no way.
He ain't the best. Ain't no way.
One night.
Nah,
One
it was more than one night, bro. You can't blow a 3-1 lead, bro.
All he done did already.
One
night.
night.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Bro, hey.
What about next year? What was next when they bounce back?
Bounce back and do what?
What was y'all saying last year when they won it?
You talking about right now, Felix? Right now, man. You talking about last year
Of course
or
you want
next
to
year?
talk about right now. Last your team finally
That's
back.
right.
Relevant.
That's right.
Of course you want to talk
Finally
about
back.
right now.
We were 39-43 last year. That's right.
I don't
We were
remember.
39-43.
I don't remember this
Jimmy Butler
podcast stuff.
came.
I don't
and we
remember this
there. That's
podcast
right.
stuff last year.
That's right.
When I called
That's
Raptors
right.
and
Oh,
six.
you
We
remember?
didn't have no extra podcast after that.
We gave you credit
Now
last
we
year.
have a
We
super
gave you
surprise
credit.
podcast.
We gave you credit.
Now you want me doing this and that because your team's still relevant. We're the surprise. When we start doing surprise
We gave you
podcasts
credit
first
last
thing in
year.
the morning. When do we start this?
Hey, you text me first, man. You text me first.
I text you talk about the game. You talk about being.
You text me first. You text me last night. You text me last night because you knew. Hey, you knew what was coming. You knew what was coming. You text me last night. You
It's all
already knew.
good. I can take it. I can take it because I know my man will bounce back. Ain't no question about it.
Well, let me ask y'all this. So with the series that are left, you got Boston, Miami, and you got Denver and Lakers. Let's start from the beginning. Let's start over. Give me your winner from both series, and give me the champion. You know. So Sam, we'll start with you at the top. You got both series, and who's gonna win?
Denver and Boston, and I'm going with Boston.
Oh my God.
Give me the series though. Give me some series numbers though, man.
What?
I see what's going on here.
Denver and 6. Denver and 6. Boston is 7.
Boston winning. Boston is 7. And who's gonna win it?
Then Boston gonna win the whole thing in 6.
Stop it, Sam.
You think those kids are gonna win the championship?
Stop it, bro.
And LeBron still won't get that 4th ring.
Okay.
You hope
Okay. I see what
you
it's
and Felix both gonna owe me. Don't worry. Felix already do. Let's go down to DJ real quick. Then I'm gonna go to Garrett. DJ. DJ, can you hear me? Who's gonna be the East winner and the West winner? Who's gonna win it all now?
LA in 6, Boston, Miami in 6, got LA winning the whole thing.
LA winning the whole thing. Miami in 6. Gary.
I got Miami in 7. I got LA. LA gonna win in 5. And then I got LA winning it all 6.
Okay. LA in 6. Bryce.
Yo.
Who you got, Bryce?
Miami in 6. Give me Lakers in 5. Then give me Lakers winning it all, man.
Lakers win it all. To Ray.
I'm gonna go Lakers in 5, maybe, might be 4. I'm gonna go Heat in 7, and Lakers over the Heat in 5.
Before I let Felix go, I ain't gonna lie. I hope y'all right about the Heat. Y'all know I picked the Celtics to beat us in 7. And Felix, you should know that because I didn't even go with my boys in this series, but I'm praying that we win. But Felix, let me ask you this before I'll ask you to pick these two winners. Do you change now also how you see the Lakers? Because you also were hard on Lakers. I was telling you about their centers with JaVale and Dwight, and you were calling them bums. I was telling you about Rondo coming back and putting everybody in position. You said he was washed. You said LeBron don't got it no more. I can run that tape back too. I'll be with you. I'll talk to you sometime and run it back to you. But can you give me?
My opinion on
JaVale
on the Lakers? Ain't changed at all.
All right, forget JaVale. The Lakers, okay? They want to bring one thing out. The Lakers. Do you now think the Lakers were still built now to win the championship this year? Are they going to win it? Are the Lakers going to?
I still ain't think they really played nobody yet, but
ain't played.
We got two players. We got two Hall of Famers like that. They hard. They tough to beat. So yeah.
They built to
win this year. Yeah.
You picked them to lose against Portland and Houston, so you had to thought they played somebody.
That's me being biased, for real. I'm not dumb.
Now, in all seriousness, though, you did say, to your credit, I will say this because I did remember, you did say this part, that Denver, you were high on Denver. You even said that you wish Denver played the Lakers and not the Clippers because Denver would have had a better chance to beat. You did say that, so I will give you might even not even remember that, but I'll have your back on that because we've been hard on you. But it's for good credit because, boy, you be on us hard.
Like so I tried to tell Teray this. The Mavericks had the highest rated offense in the history of the NBA.
That's why y'all lucky KP got hurt. Y'all might have been out that round for real. It was up. What was it? 2-2? It was 2-2, right?
Got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
so who's gonna win that? That's two tough opponents. The Clippers played, and I don't think the
Lakers. I would say I wouldn't say that. I say the Lakers had two hard opponents than the Clippers. What y'all think, everybody?
Huh?
Who had harder? Who had? All I was here was Dame Lillard and James Harden. Yeah.
Mavericks and the Nuggets. Nah.
Who else? Gary, Sam, DJ, Bryce.
No.
You know who y'all think? Who had a tougher opponent?
I think Clippers had a tougher road.
Yeah.
I think Clippers had a tougher road too.
Clippers too, but
what?
I mean, Lakers wasn't.
Yeah,
easy.
definitely. Ain't no question about that. Especially with
Lillard
getting hurt.
He got hurt the last game too. You weren't saying with this people getting hurt. They got hurt the last game. It was already over.
Already over.
It was
already over.
It was 3-1.
Is it better?
It was 3-1. The series is over. Come on, man.
The Nuggets was 3-1 series.
You thought it was over. You thought it was over. Okay, you can say that. But I mean, I only think y'all saying the Clippers down because the Nuggets won. A lot of people didn't think the Nuggets were that good. So now that we've seen it, I think now that's why y'all saying the Clippers rose.
Like you just said, Dallas said the Nuggets was decent.
If you run the tape back about Dallas, I'm the one that said Dallas was going to give them at least 6 games. From what I remember, all y'all had on, except obviously DJ and Teray went on here, y'all had them beat them in 5. The Clippers. Sam, Gary, Bryce, you know. So again, y'all see it now. But I've been saying that Dallas. I knew Dallas that series was going to be tough. Luka's a trooper. He made the first team today too.
Clippers should have won in 5
as well.
Yeah. Should have won in 5.
Yeah, they should have won.
What happened?
Those defenders couldn't stop Luka.
That don't change the fact that the Clippers had a tougher road.
That was the problem.
Felix, who gonna win Boston and Miami?
What was the problem, Teray?
Them defenders couldn't stop Luka.
Yeah, Luka. Yeah. Oh, them defenders, the top defenders in the league.
Yeah, them top defenders. Jordan and Scotty couldn't stop Luka.
Nobody can stop Luka.
Hold
on.
Yeah,
that game winner. That game winner was tough.
Hold on. Remember before the series, Skinner had said that Luka wasn't going to dominate in the playoffs because they was going to be more physical with him.
Yep.
What happened?
They tried to step on his
ankle. You had to holler.
What happened?
Yeah.
They tried to hurt
Marcus
my
Moore.
And then what happened?
Man, it would have been cool to see Markieff and Marcus match up in the playoffs, man. Y'all have messed it up. Twins was going to be battling in the playoffs.
See a whole lot of stuff that should have happened. Remember LeBron and Kobe puppets? We was supposed to see that go down.
Yeah. 09.
Yep. They lost. 09. Don't worry. There's a lot of shit.
Can I get your East prediction?
Never left and went and played for the Warriors after they kicked his ass and they was down Cleveland.
Hey, you right about that.
I don't want to hear that shoulda coulda. Damn the Moores twins.
Hey, can I? Hey, Felix. Felix, can I get an East prediction, man? Can I get a finals prediction, an East prediction from you?
Boston, just because I don't like you and I don't like Miami. That's my same reason why I picked against the Lakers. I hate them now because of LeBron James.
Yeah.
And I'm going.
Yeah, you know
Nuggets,
what's funny though?
And I'm going Nuggets.
You know,
Nuggets
I know
world
you going
champions
Nuggets
this year.
He's been wrong all year, bro.
Yo,
you know what's funny? You know what's funny with Felix though, and I know he just pulling my leg because Felix likes what you call dogs. In Miami, Jimmy Butler, Bam. Man, I know you like watching them cats, man. I know you do, man. I know you got a Heat shirt in there somewhere.
He's nice.
Yeah. Oh man,
nice,
this is good stuff though, man. Yeah, this is good stuff. Y'all funny, man.
Boston because the scoring, they ain't got that. The scoring gonna freeze up.
I mean, honestly, I don't know either. I agree.
If they stop going Dragic, they're gonna dry up. They're gonna score 89, 90 points.
I don't know either. I mean, we'll see. But our defense and our three-point shooting is pretty
when
good.
When you go for 20 to 25, they're gonna win.
Oh yeah, we're gonna win with 20-25. And Duncan Robinson's got to not get in foul trouble. He can't guard, so they're going right at him. I mean, you know what I mean. So, but they need Hayward back, in my opinion. Boston, I think they need Hayward back to beat us. But we'll see. You know. So cool, man. Cool. I think we pretty much good to wrap up. Unless y'all got anybody else got anything they want to bring out that either happened in the past, happened today, happened anything, anybody?
We ain't do no football podcast. We need to get that running.
We can definitely do that. I know you want to talk about them Packers.
Terray and Lance probably don't want to be in that one the way their teams look.
Oh no, I'm in that. Oh man, come on, man. I know we lost to the Jags. Hey, Marlon Mack got hurt, man. Our mental messed up. Sam gave me a hard time about that. And he was crying about that Jalen Ramsey call. Hey, he was calling about that. He was mad about that Jalen Ramsey call.
All that money for nothing, man.
He got burnt. Come on, man. You can't push the
Ramsey
man
got
off,
burnt.
Man.
Gary, tell him something, man.
Yeah.
Man, out there flopping, Sam.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Bad Man Sunday. I know y'all seen that Bad Man Sunday.
Rogers look good, man. Rogers look good. He look good. It's a bounce back year for him. He needed. Like I said, he need another one to solidify his legacy. If you ask me, one ring ain't enough for Rogers.
Devontae Adams, 14 catches, 150 yards.
Yeah, I hope he don't do that this week. I'm playing somebody got him in fantasy, but I got him on one of my teams too. But look, man, I'm gonna let you. Brady. And how do y'all think Brady looked though? I mean, we can talk a little. How do y'all think? Because I mean, Bruce Arians called him out.
He looks terrible, yo.
Whole new system, man. Used to a system. He's been in for 20 years. Give him some time.
Yeah, give him time. That's what I'm saying.
I give him some time, but he didn't really look that good, yo.
Nah, he did.
Yeah, you gotta give him time.
43.
He did.
Yeah, you gotta give him time. And plus, Evans wasn't full strength either. Mike Evans wasn't full strength.
Evans don't do nothing against the Saints anyway.
Nah, he never do. He always on lockdown against the Saints. Yeah, you right. Yeah, you're right. But now it's gonna be a good season. They got an extra playoff spot this year too, so it's gonna make it even interesting. Russell Wilson, he looked good. You know what I mean? He finally throwing that ball more, you know, instead of, you know, pound, they got him throwing more. So yeah, it's gonna be a good season, man. It's gonna be a good season.
Shout out to Tyrod Taylor and Cam Newton replacing the Caucasian quarterbacks and winning.
Yep. They both won. Look at him right here.
That's so fucking funny, bro.
I told you, man. Phoenix. I was Phoenix gonna be laughing a long time, man. Even when we argued, I was laughing about it, man. That cat pretty crazy, man. But look, man, I'm out of here, man. Real Sports Fan Podcast. I appreciate y'all taking some time out y'all schedule. I know we did this last minute, so I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. But we'll get up, man.
Hey,
we'll talk, man. Y'all boys be safe.
Anybody got that lighter though? I still ain't got one.
Man.
Hey, spark it up, Terray.
back.
This pandemic pee pack is hitting.
Go ahead, Bryce.
We done now,
Don't
Phoenix.
start Buster. Look, don't start Buster Douglas.
Don't start Roy Jones.
Yo, I'm out of here, man. Y'all boys be safe, yo. Peace, thanks, DJ. Everybody, peace, y'all.